What's up, everybody? It's Joe from the Acceptable Casualties. Just here to show you guys a little video on some of the Polish second corps that I'm working on right now. As you guys can see, this is a mix of Plastic Soldier Company and some Battlefront just bases, infantry bases. So I figure I'll give you guys like a little closer look. This is what the whole company's kind of going to be painted as. I was going for a pretty generic like British late war infantry look, so they can play in multiple theaters. So this is kind of, the back row is the Battlefront. I was also going to show you guys a comparison between the models as well. So the back row is that motor platoon that I put up beforehand, and then the front down here, this is the Plastic Soldier Company, their infantry models. And then over here is Wojtek the bear, and then one of the Polish officers carrying some ammo boxes. And then down here I have my 1IC with the Polish infantry lieutenant in the back. So what I was thinking, I was doing a little bit of research, and then with the Polish infantry that fought in Monte Cassino, the uniforms look pretty similar to the British ones, almost exact. I think like the if you look, let me see if I can get one of these out. So this is one of my regular late war Brits. You can see around the boots they have that webbing that goes around there. For the Poles, and a lot of the reference materials that I saw, they just had straight black boots. So that's like one of the differences that I did down here with some of these guys. I didn't do the webbing on there. So that's what I ended up doing for the Plastic Soldier Company infantry. Also, another thing that I looked up for reference material, a lot of the lieutenants, let me see if I can get that up there, they wore black berets. And this is the Plastic Soldier Company one as well. They wore black berets, so and they had like the little red Polish marking on there and some other stuff. So that's what I'm doing to kind of differentiate my command bases for the Poles. So this is what it looks like, what the painting scheme that I'm going to end up going with going forward here for the Poles and like the generic Brit infantry bases. Let me see over here. Another thing that I noticed too when I was putting these together, the PCS plastics are actually, they're really, really nice as far as painting up the details. They're not as stocky or the heroic like build, I guess is what they call it, as the Battlefront plastics, but they have a much more, I guess, like slim, more human-esque profile. I guess they don't, like I said, they're just not as bulky. So if you like that look, they're really good plastic compared to the Battlefront ones. If you put them side by side as the platoon moves up the table, I don't think you're really going to be able to tell at arm's length. I will say if you mix them on the base together, though, you might have a noticeable difference as far as what you're looking at. Like the builds of both of these makers are different enough to where if you put them on the same base and you're closer than arm's length away, you might be able to pick up on it. Another thing I wanted to touch on too for the PCS infantry, like I said, they're for the price, what you get, they're really, really nice. The regular infantry models, I'll zoom in a little bit here. They're like I said, they're nice poses and they look great. They paint up super easy too. Like the details on them, they pop enough to where you can get a paintbrush on them rather easy, and they look really good, especially like the faces and everything else that goes with it. But the one thing I will say is, if you're looking for like a wide variety of poses, they really don't have a ton of them. The infantry, it's not as big of a deal, but when you get to the command bases, you're kind of limited once you start using, like, these are like the three main officer poses that I've noticed. And then you can get back, like, I think here's another one down here that I use for my 2IC down there. So like you're limited to the officer poses, and if you're going to use them for like observers, because you're going to have a lot of extra pieces and stuff like that, you might have a lack of variety on the table. And if that bothers you, you might want to look at maybe picking up some different command staff, maybe from Battlefront or another maker, just kind of mix up your 1IC, 2IC, all your platoon leaders and things of that nature. Same thing with the Piat and the little knee mortars. There's only two, I think, one pose for each of those. So each platoon will have the same look for that. I think Battlefronts is the same with that as well, as far as not a lot of variety for those little two model bases, the small bases for your supports for these platoons. So just something to keep in mind if you pick up the box set. Like I said, for the price, it's absolute steal. I mean, you get a full company for like 20 or 25 bucks American. You know, you're not gonna you're not gonna really be able to find that anywhere else. But it'll look good on the table, it paints up great. But the one thing just to keep in mind is for your command staff and anything along those lines, if you have extra models for maybe some other kits, just to kind of break up the redundancy, some of the looks of some of the models. For me, I'm going through the bits box right now, and I'm trying to piece some stuff together just to kind of break it up a little bit, because that's that's one of the things I can be a little anal retentive about. But if that doesn't bother you at all, then it's an absolute steal from top to bottom as far as what you're going to pay for it. And like I said, they do blend in pretty well with Battlefront if you're going to base them on separate bases. If you're going to put them on the same base, like I said earlier, you might notice a little bit of a difference. At arm length, probably not as much, but definitely when you get down a little bit closer, you will. So this is the Poles / British infantry that I'm going to be building. Keep an eye out for them. Probably be coming out in the next couple of weeks once I get these guys done. I got some 6-pounders, some 25-pounders, and some other stuff coming up as well. So thanks for watching. If you guys got any comments or maybe some ideas on some other makers that kind of blend well with these models that I can add into the mix to kind of break up the similarities between all the bases and platoons, that would be awesome. So like I said, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.